Hello everyone, Justin here, and today I'm going to show you how I draw circles freehand. Always keep in mind that when you're trying to draw these things freehand, it's not going to be perfect. So if you were trying to draw something more exact, say for a technical drawing or something like that, you'll want to use a compass or a circle template, which are these plastic sheets that have circular cutouts in them to make a perfect circle, or use some kind of circular object or anything else like that and draw around it. Say something like a quarter, you can just draw around it and get a perfect circle. So anyway, let's get back to how I go about doing this. The way I try to look at it is, say you have a cross and here's the center of the circle. Each of the points from the center to the outside of the circle is the radius. So let's say this right here, let's say we have a circle like so. Okay, this right here is the radius, which is half of the size of the circle, and this right here is the diameter from here all the way to the other side. That's the diameter. So let's start on another one here. So again, we've got this cross. I'm sorry about that, I'm not drawing that very straight. So let's say we have a radius here, and I'm just going to eyeball it. From here to here will be the same, from the center again to the other side right there, and out to the left here and to the right. Now if I draw these out, I should get more or less a circle connecting those points. And that's one way of going about it. Now if you measure these out more accurately with, say, a ruler or something, and draw the points, the outer points, like right here for example, and then right here. This is before you try to draw the circle. So another point here, draw it out to here, and keep doing this. The more points you put out along the diameter, along the circumference is going all the way around, the more exact the circle will be, because you'll know where to draw your line, and so you'll have a circle. When I need to draw a circle at an exact location, say, I'll go ahead and draw my grid just like this, determine the size of the circle that I want, say a small circle, and I will go ahead and mark out, just like I showed you earlier, where I want the circle to be. Say let's make another bigger circle, and again I'll go ahead and do that and draw a circle. Okay, so let's say I'm drawing a car. So let's see, let's draw the wheel well, just like this. Top of the car, here's the back, and I want the center of the circle to be right here. So I'll go ahead and draw the horizontal line. This one is going to be a little bit bigger, and then the center of the circle will be, of the wheel, will be right there, and this one would be right here. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and draw my grid like so. This one's going to be just a little bit bigger, maybe, and I'll go ahead and draw my circle, which would be the wheel, and I'll have it exactly located where I need it to be. So this is the inner, this particular circle, these circles right here are the inside of the tire. So then I'll have to draw another circle just outside of it to show the outside diameter of the tire. So let me just go ahead and shade this, and this side as well, and shade the inside of the wheel well. Gotta have a big exhaust, and let me just make this a little bit nicer here real quick. Okay, so that's how I locate where I need to draw the circle. Now let's say you're just drawing a freehand circle. So in this case, I'll just go ahead and try to draw the circle. Now, the reason why I don't necessarily do the grid in this section is because sometimes I'll start a circle and let's say it's crooked, you know, in which case I may have to correct it, in which case the center of the circle now gets shifted over. So initially, let's say right here, I made it a little bit too oval, and in order to make it more circular, I made the circle a little bit wider to the right. Well, now when I did that to make it more circular, the center has shifted slightly over here. In which case, if I was drawing something more technical, like say locating the axle of the car or the wheel, it's now off where I wanted it to be. So let's practice drawing a circle here. Okay, if I look at this, I started out with a line right here and tried to continue the circle, but here I realized that this was too flat. I continued the line a little bit higher because just looking at it objectively, this is just too low. Then I'll go ahead and continue it to meet this line here and make a circle. So when you're drawing a circle, always try to look at it objectively and see where the problem is. So let's say I am drawing something like this. Okay, this is not a circle. It's an attempted circle, but let's look at it. So this height is, this distance here, the height, is longer than the width. Automatically we know that this needs to be a little bit wider. So let's correct it by going a little bit wider with this part of the line. Okay, so now let's continue it to that line there. Looks better. But now look at this side here. It looks very sharp, kind of like a corner of a soft square. So we need to continue this line inside of that to make it more circular. So let's draw the line there. And now we're getting closer to a circle. So you'll want to correct as you go. And here I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit darker to show where we are. And there's our circle. Oftentimes what I'll do is I'll follow the shape of the circle roughly, get my fingers used to that form before I put my pencil down, and then draw the circle. So again, I'll do this. You see that? I went around 1 or 2 times before I put my pencil down. So this is just a matter of practice. One thing you could try to do is draw grids that are squares and try to draw a circle inside. So in this case, the circle is always going to touch the square, the lines right at the edges right here, 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 and there. So let's do that. Now that's if your lines are actually perfectly square. So go like this. So let's say as you practice, and I highly suggest you do this a lot. This is very basic, but I think it's very helpful. Let's say you start here at the line. You're touching the line, you draw a circle, and then you don't touch this line. Well, just go back, redraw your circle so that you make sure that you touch that line right there. As far as drawing a circle with your hands, fingers, arm, to me this is different from drawing a straight line, and I'll talk about that in another video on how to draw a straight line where you use your whole arm. To me this is requiring more control, and I have a lot more control, and you will have a lot more control using your fingers and your wrist. So when I draw a circle, look at my fingers, see how my thumb, my fingers are moving, and my wrist is also moving, and that's where you have a lot of control. So when you try to draw a circle, you'll just have a lot more control doing that. versus if, let's say, I'm going to try to draw a circle here using my whole arm. Moving basically from the shoulder, not moving my fingers. It's a lot more difficult. So practice drawing a circle using your fingers and just get used to that motion. Draw a lot of circles, different sizes. Let's say, let's draw right here and correct it as much as you can as you do it. Different sizes again right here. Draw a small one, small one. Then one thing you can try to do as well is once you draw like a circle right there, try to draw it so that it touches the other circles. So depending on what you're trying to accomplish, the size of your circle will be different in order to touch those. So like right here, I can draw a small circle, but I can also draw a bigger circle. And it'll touch these parts right here at a different location. That's pretty much all I have to say. Practice a lot, draw a lot of circles, just get used to the motion, and before long you'll be able to draw these fairly easily. And just remember, you're not trying to make it perfect. Well, you are trying to make it perfect, but you won't be. You want a perfect circle, again, use a compass or a circle template. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Bye.